Squeegees and mops instead of brooms needed for this sweep. Hello and welcome to Geico Sports Night. I'm Eamon McEnany. Ahead on the show, the Giants in action, and our NFL insider joins us to discuss Big Blue's performance against the Bengals.
And I'm Chris Williamson. Eamon, you mentioned mops needed for the sweep. Yeah, a lot of them, because Mother Nature threw quite the curveball at the Mets-Cleveland game. But thankfully for the Mets, Noah Syndergaard didn't let the elements throw him a curveball. Dude operated like a machine. Mets going for the sweep of Cleveland. Syndergaard on the mound for New York after retiring the first 10 batters of the game. Syndergaard facing Greg Allen, who flies one to left. J.D. Davis going back to the warning track and makes the nice over-the-shoulder catch. Syndergaard loves it. Take another look. Davis sticks his glove out, hauling it in, and gives a bit of a smirk. It's like, did I do that? Uh-huh. Wilson Ramos riding a 15-game hit streak up with 2 runners on. Here's Gary Cohen on the call.
And that's lined down the right field line. That's a fair ball going into the corner, and that'll bring in 2. Paddock and Conforto score. Ramos to second, slides in safely with a 2-run double. And the Mets are out in front 2-0. And the hitting streak continues for Ramos. It's now at 16 games.
Mets grab a 2-0 lead. Syndergaard going back to work in the 6th. He still hasn't allowed a base runner, striking out former Met Kevin Plawecki. Syndergaard retires his first 16 batters. Next batter, Tyler Naquin. Lines one to shallow center. Juan Lagares can't make the catch. Syndergaard loses the perfect game as the crowd applauds the effort. Later in the inning, 2 on, 2 out. Allen grounds one to first. Pete Alonso makes the diving stop. Throws to Syndergaard, covering for the out to end the inning. Syndergaard and Alonso breaking out the chest bump. I love it. A few minutes later, heavy rain came down over Citi Field, delaying the game actually twice. The Mets win 2-0. Here's Mickey Callaway on sweeping Cleveland.
It's great indication that we're playing very good baseball. We're continuing to stress the right things. We're playing the game the right way, and everybody's performing. So great team across the field over there, and we came in and did a good job against them this series.
Great team win, a great team sweep all around. So, we're building off of that, and we're going to take on the Braves tomorrow.
It's a great feeling, just to set our sights to win the series, and then obviously put ourselves in a situation to get a sweep and to actually sweep them. It's huge. I mean, that's a playoff team over there. I think they have over 70 wins over there, and it's a great lineup, great pitching staff. So to get a big test for us coming in here before the Braves is huge for us.
Cardinals hosting the Rockies top 5. Game tied 2-2. Nolan Arenado is up with 2 men on, facing Miles Mikolas. Arenado hits a 3-run home run to left center field. His 32nd of the year gives the Rockies a 5-2 lead. Bottom 7. Cardinals down 5-4. Dexter Fowler up with the man on. Fowler hits one to right center field. His 15th home run of the year gives the Cardinals a 6-5 lead. Cardinals defeat the Rockies 6-5. So now, let's take a look at the current wildcard standings. And while the Nats, Cardinals, and Mets all hold serve, while the idle Phillies lose a half a game and are now 2 games behind St. Louis for the second wildcard spot. For more on the Mets, though, here's Eamon McEnany.
All right, Chris, we're now joined by John Harper for Baseball Night in New York. And Harp, Noah Syndergaard allows just the 2 hits in 6 innings. What impressed you the most about his performance against the Indians?
He had it all working tonight, Eamon. Early on, he established that changeup, got a couple of big strikeouts. That tells the Indians you just can't sit on the fastball. And then he's throwing a slider for strike, got some big outs with that, too. And you're seeing him become more and more of a guy he doesn't have to rely on strikeouts. He's really learned to throw that 2-seamer down in the zone and get easy outs, get some ground balls. Mix up his pitches, and tonight he had it going. It would have been really fun to see how far he could have gone into this game if not for the rain. I mean, I think he would have gone 8 easily.
And Mickey Callaway certainly would have liked to him go that long, but obviously the bullpen did their job as well. Also doing his job, Wilson Ramos, a rare opportunity to catch Syndergaard, but 2 more runs batted in for Ramos, who now has that 16-game hitting streak. Are his contributions to this Met resurgence being overshadowed by the likes of Davis, Alonso, and Rosario?
Yeah, I think so. That's where most of the attention has been, is on the younger guys you didn't expect. And but Ramos is really, he deserves some praise for this. And it's funny how, these guys, they don't mind throwing to a guy when he's getting the big hits in the games for him. And look, he's taking a lot of criticism. I was criticizing him early in the year for his defense, and his defense, he's still not a great defensive catcher. But when you're getting big hits, what is a 16-game hitting streak now, that stuff, you can live with that stuff. And obviously, the Mets have incorporated now with DeGrom and Syndergaard are both throwing to him again. It's no more just Nito, so he's playing a big role in this thing.
All of a sudden, Brodie Van Wagenen's offseason's looking a lot better with J.D. Davis, hitting like he's Ted Williams, and now Wilson Ramos. There you go. Now, we just saw the wild card standings, and it seems, the Mets are obviously red hot, and everyone's got Met fever here in New York, but you look around the National League, Cubs are finding a way to win games. The Nats are on a roll. I mean, who do you think the most interesting or difficult competition is going to be for the Mets here?
Well, I think the Nationals, Scherzer came back and pitched 4 innings, apparently came out of that start well. If he's healthy, I think the Nationals are going to be really tough to catch with that starting pitching. To me, I think it's going to come down to the Cardinals and the Cubs. Right now the Cubs are half game ahead of the Cardinals, but the Mets get the Cubs at Citi Field next week for 3. The Cubs have been really bad on the road. If they can take advantage of obviously that could change the whole picture in the wild card. And then, you can't count the Phillies out either. They're only a half game behind the Mets since Charlie Manuel became the hitting coach. They're doing a lot better. So a lot of these teams are playing really well. It looks like it's going to be a race to the wire.
And the really fun thing is they're all playing each other. The Cubs are coming to town, and then, of course, the Nats and the Phillies. Do you think, when you look at that, the Cubs might comfortably win that division, but do you think they're the best team that we're talking about here?
I don't know. They're a funny team, you kind of thought that all year they were going to take off at some point, but they really haven't. Their offense hasn't been nearly as good as you expected. So I think Cubs-Cardinals is going to go to the wire too. So that's why I think if the Mets were to, if they could somehow look, I know you can't keep sweeping every team, but if they could sweep the Cubs next week at Citi Field, that would go a long way toward pushing themselves.
Hey, they swept the Indians coming in here 20 over 500. Did they forget how to play baseball after Sunday night?
I think they spent a little too much time in New York here last week with the Yankees and now with the Mets. The high prices, the late hours might be catching up with them.
Terry Francona can't wait to get back to Ohio and get ready to face the Royals. All right, Hart, don't go anywhere. More baseball talk with John, but now let's send it back to Chris.
All right, thanks, Eamon. Up next, we knew Giants QB Eli Manning would get a small workload versus the Bengals, but how would his heir apparent do in his first real test of the preseason schedule? Moving pictures of Daniel Jones' performance and more. Plus, Leonard Williams is expected to shine under Greg Williams' aggressive defense, and Arjun Coakley goes one-on-one with Leonard Williams to discuss the season that's quickly approaching. And Masahiro Tanaka, would he bring his A-game material against the Oakland A's, who've been hot since the All-Star break? Or would they see him humbled? That and more when we return.
Geico Sports Night is brought to you by Geico. 15 minutes could save you 15% or more on car insurance. Visit geico.com for a free rate quote.
Uh-oh. Looks like someone's still nervous about buying a new house.
Is it that obvious?
Yes, it is. Maybe you'd worry less if you got Geico to help with your homeowner's insurance.
I didn't know Geico helps with homeowners insurance.
Yeah, they've been doing it for years. What are you doing? Big Steve?
Thanks, man.
There he is.
Get to know Geico and see how much you could save on homeowners and renters insurance.
Tired of your old frying pan? Well, stay tuned to get a free state-of-the-art frying pan from Gotham Steel. Yes, you heard us right. Free.
Hi, Chef Daniel Green here with Gotham Steel, the newest technology in non-stick cookware made with ceramic and super strong titanium. Stronger than ever before. It's literally like cooking on air. Everything slides right off. This pan makes cooking so easy. Check out this s'mores recipe. Start with chocolate chips, add sweetened condensed milk, marshmallows, and then bake. That's right, use Gotham Steel in the oven to up to 500 degrees. And then look, it slides right out. Delicious. And it's dishwasher safe. Watch, you'd never whisk eggs in a non-stick pan, right? Well, you can with my pan. Use metal and look, no scratches. No oil or butter, absolutely no sticking and no scratches. It's amazing. Look, burnt cheese is a frying pan disaster. Not with my pan, shredded Parmesan, right on the heat. And here's a secret. Shape a bowl for a unique way to serve party dips. Even fire won't damage Gotham Steel. Make steak fajita flambe with ease. No burnt stuck on mess. Just a clean pan and flawless food every time.
We want all of America to try this revolutionary new pan, so here's an insane deal from Gotham Steel. Get your 9.5-inch Gotham Steel pan with new titanium ceramic surface for just $19.99. But wait, call now and through this special TV offer, you can get a second Ticerama pan free. Plus, you get your shipping absolutely free. And we're so sure you'll love the non-stick, non-scratch surface, we're giving you a huge 90-day money-back guarantee. Call now to get your Gotham Steel nonstick pan for just $19.99 and get a second pan free. Plus, we'll even ship it to you free. Here's how to order.
Call 1-800-738-1237 or go to GothamSteel.com. That number again is 1-800-738-1237 or visit GothamSteel.com.
Giants visiting the Bengals for preseason game number 3. Just like the first 2 games, Saquon Barkley a bystander for this one. Giants facing 3rd down on their first possession of the game. Eli Manning hits Russell Shepard in stride for a 19-yard gain up to the 34. Eli completes 4 of 8 passes for 41 yards in just 1 drive of work. A few plays later, he hands it off to Wayne Gallman. He picks up 14 yards down to the Cincinnati 30. Look at Eli being the lead blocker. The Giants, though, would have to settle for a field goal. Daniel Jones takes over from there. In the second, Bengals leading 7-3. Jones with some time, and he hooks up with Britton Golden over the middle. 35 yards on the pickup to the Cincy 22. But facing 3rd and 16 a few plays later, Jones airing it out for Darius Slayton, who makes the catch and stays inbounds at the 1. Jones goes 9 of 11 for 141 yards. A couple of plays later, they go to the ground. Jones hands it off to Rod Smith. He finishes the job, but he would injure his groin and have to leave the game. Giants win 25-23, improving to 3-0 in the preseason. Time now for Football Night in New York, and we're joined by SNY's NFL insider Ralph Vacchiano. And Ralph, how surprising is it to see Eli Manning only play 1 series in the 3rd preseason game?
Yeah, I mean, Pat Shurmur basically said that this is the way he was going to go, play this game much like he played the first 2. But when you think about it, it wasn't that long ago where the 3rd preseason game was the test for the starters. They played into the 3rd quarter. This is how they got ready for the regular season. But the trend now is as if the preseason doesn't matter anymore. You saw last week the Chicago Bears started nobody. You haven't seen the quarterback of the Bears or the Rams yet. You're not going to see the running backs for the Giants or the Jets. Nobody wants to get their starters hurt. They just want to get them warmed up really quickly. And that's the approach that Pat Shurmur wants to take with Eli Manning.
All right, less snaps for Eli means more playing time for Daniel Jones. And it appeared that the speed of the game was a factor for him on the first couple of series. Then he regrouped. What was your takeaway from his performance?
My takeaway is he was good again. You know, every time he goes out there, he does something that impresses me. This time, what impressed me the most is his ability to handle pressure, which we didn't see a lot of for him in the first couple of games. The offensive line had been really good in front of him. But in this game, he got a hit and a fumble that was just a brutal hit. And on the very next play, with pressure still in his face, he threw, I think it was a 36-yard pass right down the sidelines to the 1-yard line to set up a touchdown. It was as if he wasn't fazed at all by the blitz coming at him, and he can obviously take a hit. That's something good. These are the things, bouncing back from adversity last week, handling the pressure this week. These are the things that rookie quarterbacks don't often do, but Daniel Jones seems to have no problem with.
All right, sticking with the passing game, Eli's numbers would have looked a lot different. He had a couple of key drops on that opening series. How big an issue for this team right now is wide receiver play?
It's huge. I mean, it's good for them that they look like they're going to get Sterling Shepard back on opening day. The broken thumb is not nearly as bad as they thought at the very beginning, and he says he's ready to go. But remember, they still won't have Golden Tate for the first 4 games. They already lost Corey Coleman for the season. He was going to be their 3rd receiver. So now for at least a month, they're going to need a 2nd and 3rd receiver. And I don't know who that exactly is. Their best receivers right now are guys way at the bottom of the roster, guys like Alonzo Russell and Britton Golden. Even Reggie White Jr. has played well. But the guys who should be taking that job, Cody Latimer with 2 drops, including 1 in the end zone, that was brutal. You know, Benny Fowler hasn't done anything great yet to really seize the job. Same with Russell Shepard. It really makes me wonder, when the games start for real and their game planning, are they really even going to have another option, or is this going to be a case where Sterling Shepard is 1, Saquon Barkley's 2, Evan Ingram is 3, and then they just hope?
All right, so that's the story on the Giants. But before we go, 4th preseason game, do you and I suit up for it if no one else is going to play?
We might have to. Anybody that has a chance of making the team at the bottom of the roster, that's it. You're not going to see anybody else.
All right, Ralph Vacchiano and I are going to get in shape for that one. So thanks for stopping by.
My pleasure.
This could be the year Jets defensive end Leonard Williams really realizes his true potential. The freakish athletic lineman racked up only 7 sacks in the last 2 seasons, but he should break out this year with Greg Williams' style of defense. And ahead of his team's 3rd preseason game versus the Saints, our Janae Coakley caught up with him to discuss camp.
Leo, how's camp been? I mean, 3rd preseason game coming up, usually the dress rehearsal. Leading up to this game, how's it been?
It's been great. I love the energy on the team right now. High level of competition, high level of wanting to be great, and that's what I love to see. And everybody. You know, it's just like every position group is challenging their opposing position group, and you know, it's just stacking days. And you know, I just love the energy right now.
What do you hope to get out of this game?
You know, we're playing against a really highly talented team, definitely a playoff team, and, you know, a Hall of Fame quarterback and stuff like that. And, you know, I definitely think it's a good challenge as a third game. You know, I wouldn't want to play against another team in this third game besides them.
When you hear the people say, you know, so many injuries or they're secondary, they don't have a lot of depth, what do you say? What does this defense say to that?
You know, it's a culture, and that's what, you know, Greg talks about all the time. It's not an individual player that we need. It's just the culture of our defense is flying around attacking style defense. So it just because one guy goes down doesn't mean another guy can't step up and fill the culture of that position. You know.
Coming up, we'll have much more on the show, including the Yanks' struggles against the A's, highlights, plus the Baseball Night in New York crew when we return.
I can taste my beer. I can taste my beer.
I can taste my beer.
I can taste his beer.
I can taste your beer.
I want to taste his beer.
Samuel Adams Sam 76. Finally, a refreshing lager that you can taste.
Barb, I can taste my beer.
You've helped make PC Richard & Son America's #1 family-owned appliance, mattress, and electronics retailer. And we want to say thank you. Thank you.
Thank you.
By giving you employee discounts on appliances and select Sealy mattresses, you pay what we pay, not a penny more. And with next-day delivery, you can buy today and enjoy tomorrow. Employee discounts at PC Richard & Son, the official appliance, electronics, and mattress retailer of the New York Mets.
I'm just a normal person who got an awful skin condition.
With uncontrolled moderate to severe eczema or atopic dermatitis, you feel like you're itching all the time. And you never know how your skin will look, because deep within your skin, an overly sensitive immune system could be the cause. So help heal your skin from within with Dupixent. Dupixent is not a steroid, and it continuously treats your eczema even when you can't see it. At 16 weeks, nearly 4 times more patients taking Dupixent saw clear or almost clear skin compared to those not taking it, and patients saw a significant reduction in itch. Do not use if you are allergic to Dupixent. Serious allergic reactions can occur, including anaphylaxis, a severe reaction. Tell your doctor if you have new or worsening eye problems, including eye pain or changes in vision. If you are taking asthma medicines, do not change or stop your asthma medicine without talking to your doctor. Help heal your skin from within. Ask your eczema specialist about Dupixent.
With Domino's Carry-Out Insurance, we'll remake your order for free if anything happens to it on the way home, even if it's not your fault. Like if it's whoever that guy's chasing's fault. Or if it's man's best friend's fault. Or, even if it is, ultimately, your fault. Carry out Domino's large 3-topping pizzas for $7.99 each. With Domino's Carry-Out Insurance, just bring it back and we'll remake it for free.
Last game for the Yankees in Oakland, trying to snap a 3-game losing streak. Masahiro Tanaka on the mound. Oakland already with 1 run again against him in the first. Then Mark Canha with a single into left. 1 run scores. Matt Olson following. And beats the throw. It's 3-0 Oakland. Now, the Yankees flashing a little leather in the bottom of the second. DJ LeMahieu going down and taking a hit away from Marcus Semien for the 3rd out. But they'd be down 5-0 in the 5th. Man in scoring position for Mike Tauchman. He singles through the hole into left. Gleyber Torres coming home. And guess what? He beats the throw and gets the Yankees on the board. Then in the 7th, Torres doing it himself. High and deep to left center, 396 feet, his 30th of the year. Torres becomes the 2nd youngest Yankee ever to hit 30 homers in a season, joining Joe DiMaggio as the only one to do it at age 22 or younger. He wouldn't be done, 9th inning. He does it again. Just admire and stare at it this time to right center. That pulls the Yankees within 5-3, but they will get no closer. The Yankees can't avoid the sweep as they lose 5-2. The 4-game losing streak matches their longest of the season. For more on the Yanks losing streak, here's Eamon.
All right, Chris, once again, baseball night in New York with late night with Harp here. And, John, obviously a 4-game losing streak heading into a series at Chavez Ravine against the team with the best record in the National League. Obviously less than ideal for Aaron Boone and his ball club.
Yeah, I mean, listen, Oakland's been a tough place for them to play. The A's are legit, though. They're playing really well. I think I saw something. They had the best record in baseball since, like, the middle of June. They always find a way to put it together. But still, it's concerning for the Yankees because in every game, the starting pitchers gave up runs early, and that's the story with these Yankees. You know, as great as their record is, we keep talking about the pitching because you don't know if this pitching can win a championship, and that's what it's all about for the Yankees, the starting pitching, that is. So we'll see. It's Paxton against the Dodgers. I know the Yankees, look, I'm sure they're going to get pumped up for the series against the Dodgers, but you need to see somebody like Paxton go out and set a tone for that series.
All right, you led me to my next question. A brutal series for the starting pitching. Tanaka, Happ, Herman all give up 5 earned runs. I know we've talked about it almost, the whole second half here, but how can the Yankees go deep in the postseason with such shaky starting pitching?
They're really going to have to. I think they're good. I've been saying I think they're going to have to get creative, whether it's using Chad Green to start a game. And then I think at this point they're almost counting on Severino coming back, which is dangerous because the guy hasn't pitched all year. Severino and Betances continue to deep in that bullpen. You have maybe Loaiza in the bullpen, maybe even this kid, Devi Garcia. I mean, you're going to have all these arms. At some point, you're going to have to get solid starting pitching, get you through at least 3 or 4 or 5 innings. And so you count on Tanaka. He wasn't good tonight, but he's obviously got the track record in the postseason. I still believe in Paxton. Maybe it's time to rethink that. And then I don't know exactly where they go from there because I don't know if there's anybody else you can really trust. Right?
I mean, we've seen teams in the past now rely heavily on their bullpens. Can you do that? Can you get through the whole postseason with only getting 4 or 5 innings from the starters?
The thing is, I mean, that has become everybody talks about, but really the last couple postseasons, the Astros and then the Red Sox use their starters late in games to come out of the bullpen to really deepen their own bullpen. So the Yankees obviously aren't going to be doing that. They're going to lean heavily. They've built this team to win with the bullpen, and that's what they're going to try and do. But you can't do it without some semblance of good starting pitching. I don't care how good the pen is.
All right, if you're looking for a silver lining, maybe it's Aaron Judge getting 2 hits, 2 games after hitting that home run to left. Harp, is he starting to look more comfortable at the plate to you?
I think he is. He pulled a couple again. I saw, he hit a rocket line drive that was caught. He does look like he's getting a little more comfortable pulling the ball. Maybe he's finally feeling comfortable with that oblique, or maybe it's just that he got in. I did a story on this, a column on this, and Scott's talking about maybe he just got into bad habits from protecting that oblique and taking everything the other way. He does look like he's starting to get more comfortable with him, and that's another guy because, look, as good as guys like Urshela and Tauchman, those guys have been, when you get into October, I think you're going to need Judge to get some big hits for you, so it's important that he figure it out.
All right, you said the Yankees are going to get pumped for the Dodgers series. Is this the kind of series that gets you fired up? I mean, 2 best teams in the American and National League?
Because you don't see, this is what interleague is for. I mean, matchups like this, and you don't get to see this much, and you'll get to see Kershaw and Ryu both in the series. So, yeah, if you grew up a baseball fan, you have a lot of memories of Yankees-Dodgers, so these are the kind of matchups you really want to see.
And you're going to love those players' uniforms or players' weekend uniforms instead of the old school New York gray and the Dodgers.
Let's not, as you said earlier before, let's not sound like a couple old men screaming.
I just do what my producer tells me, But
if there was any weekend where you want to see the traditional uniforms, this was it. Dodgers-Yankees doesn't get much better than that. Instead, we'll see, he hate me? Has he got one of those?
Everything else, we love the players' weekend. But do you think this is a preview of the World Series, or the Yankees you're not as confident?
Look, it's going to be awful hard for the Dodgers not to get there as strong as they are. And the pitching, they got more starting pitching now to back up Kershaw than they've ever had. I think they'll get there for sure. Right now, Yankees and Astros, I think it's a toss-up. And you can't rule out even the Indians, somebody like that. Who knows? Maybe the Twins. But I do think Yankees, I hope we get Yankees-Astros because that would be a great series.
Dodgers just have to avoid that red-hot team from Queens. But that's putting the cart before the horse.
You never know.
You never know. Harp, thanks for staying with us here for Baseball Night in New York. Now let's send it back over to Chris.
All right, thanks, Eamon. Coming up after the break, we'll tell you how some of the hobbled Mets are doing and when we can expect guys like Jeff McNeil back. Don't change that channel. We'll be right back.
Geico Sports Night is brought to you by Geico. 15 minutes could save you 15% or more on car insurance. Visit geico.com for a free rate quote.
Whose dog is this?
It's my special friend Antonio. His luxurious fur calms my nerves when I'm worried about moving into our new apartment.
Why don't we just ask Geico for help with renter's insurance?
I didn't know Geico helps with renter's insurance.
Yeah, and we could save a bunch too.
Antonio, fetch computer. Antonio. I'll get it.
Get to know Geico and see how much you could save on renter's insurance.
See this? This broken sidewalk caused everything. Your accident, your injuries, your surgeries. You're still out of work and your case may take years. Want another accident? Choose the wrong lawyer. I'm Michelle Merman. We've represented seriously injured New Yorkers for 40 years. We'll help you through this difficult process to get the resolution you deserve. Call 1-800-HURT now, because justice is no accident with a right lawyer.
Fireworks. Saturday, August 24th. The Mets host the Atlanta Braves at 7:10 p.m. Get your tickets at Mets.com/tickets.
Our son Arjun was 6 weeks old and already had his first intestinal surgery when he was diagnosed with cystic fibrosis. CF is a rare, genetic, life-shortening disease that affects every organ in the body and makes breathing difficult. At age 3.5, Arjun looks completely normal, but on his belly are scars from being in the operating room 9 times, which can be a reminder of our family's daily fight to extend his life. Thanks to the Cystic Fibrosis Foundation, we know we are not in this fight alone. When the foundation was founded in 1955, children with CF rarely lived long enough to attend kindergarten. Today, thanks to the foundation's groundbreaking research, advocacy, and care, some people with CF are attending college, getting married, and starting families. But there is still much work to be done. Until CF stands for Cure Found, for all people with CF, including those like my son Arjun, we will not stop. Help us add tomorrows. Visit cff.org today.
The Mets take on the Cleveland Indians looking for a sweep of the 3-game series. Noah Syndergaard has been on a terrific roll. He tries to keep it going tonight. Here's the changeup from Syndergaard for the first out of the night.
Oh, that's almost unfair, Ronnie.
Oh! That was a remarkable play by J.D. Davis. And that's lined down the right field line. That's a fair ball going into the corner, and that'll bring in 2. And the hitting streak continues for Ramos. Struck him out. 5 perfect innings for Noah Syndergaard. So at 8:45, we have a rain delay. After a rain delay of nearly 2.5 hours, the Mets and Indians are set to resume, and we're going to have another rain delay at 11:47 p.m. The game has been called. It's official. A rain-shortened victory for the Mets as they defeat the Indians 2-0.
All right, the Mets come back to play on Friday for another tough series at home. This time it's against the Braves with pregame coverage starting at 6:30, followed by the game at 7. Should be a fun one, the way the Amazons have been playing. But first, here's more on Thursday's win. Here's Andy Martino, who earned his paycheck out in the elements.
Last Friday night, I was at Yankee Stadium covering a Yankees-Indians game where the Cleveland Indians dropped 19 runs on the Yankees. 2 days later, the Indians scored 8 runs on the Yankees. They were rolling along after splitting that series, and they looked like a formidable team coming in here against the Mets. So let's not minimize how impressive it was that the Mets just swept the Indians, one of the premier teams in the American League, and they really did it with some elite offense and some elite pitching. Jose Ramirez and Yasiel Puig came into this series red hot. Francisco Lindor is always a threat. Mets pitchers held those 3 to 6 for 35 in that series. They did that in a number of different ways, whether it was Justin Wilson throwing that cutter in on Lindor or Noah Syndergaard just blowing those guys away with his 4-pitch arsenal. This was the Mets really looking like a playoff team, and to my mind being as impressive as they've been during this whole stretch. And having fun, continue to feel it. You had J.D. Davis being the latest shirtless Met the night before, and on this one we saw the first chest bump recorded in baseball history between Syndergaard and Pete Alonso after they made a difficult play. As Mickey Callaway put it after the game, sometimes the moment just takes over when you love the game of baseball. That was well put, and the Mets are loving everything about the way they're playing now. With the Mets, Andy Martino, SMY.
All right, thanks, Andy. A couple Mets injury updates before we sign off. Pitcher Marcus Stroman left Wednesday's game with hamstring tightness in his left leg, but after an MRI, the passionate Stroman said Thursday he expects to be ready for his next start versus the Cubs on Tuesday.
And Chris, Jeff McNeil started his rehab assignment on Thursday with AAA Syracuse, and he tested that hamstring by stealing a base. He's eligible to return to the Mets on Saturday. That's going to do it for this edition of Geico Sports Night. He's Chris. I'm Eamon. We're not chest bumping. Thanks for watching.
No,
Have a
we're not.
fantastic
No,
Friday.
we're not. You get some pizza, baby.